Get ready for the world's greatest Arsenal podcast. Welcome to another podcast by Guns and Yellow Ribbons. Enjoy the show.
Oh dear, oh dear, oh dear, oh dear, oh dear, oh dear. What have I let myself in for? Myself and Alex are in the hot seats. And boy, are they hot. We've got two very drunk Arsenal fans in Lisbon, in a bar in Lisbon. Dan and Trev are in a bar. We're going to do a podcast. This could be 15 minutes. This could be 50 minutes. It could be an hour. And don't let your kids listen, because I'm sure it's going to go wrong somewhere along the line. We're going to preview the...
Bring your overall. Bring your overall. We beat two Carabao and everywhere. And now we bring to Budapest. Oh, let's bring your overall. Bring your...
Right, I've able to mute them. We are going to preview the. No, behave.
Stop it now,
we're going to preview the Sporting Lisbon game coming up tomorrow. We're also going to see how the guys get on today. This is unreal. This is a message I got at about 12 o'clock today. I was in a meeting and it popped up on my phone. We're getting warmed up, and we're now at 7 o'clock in the evening. And yeah, they're quite warmed up. This is Trev at 6 o'clock this morning in Stansted Airport. And this is later in the day, even more beers. So yeah, you can see where this is going. The beers are going down. Alex, how are you? How was Sondenberg? And we missed you for the Bournemouth game.
Yeah, I'm good, Ferg. I wish I would have stayed for the Bournemouth game, but I don't think anyone could have known how that game would end. But yeah, I've been looking forward to this podcast. So yeah, I'm good.
That's good. We do have our work cut out. We do have a good workout. Let's try and get some common sense out of them. Dan, you were there in on Tuesday, so you're a day and a half into this. Lisbon, first time there. How's the holiday going?
It's been a good day, to be honest with you.
It's been an exceptional day.
To be honest, the second beer might have tipped me over the edge, but it's been a very good day.
I'm not there yet. I'm just having my second.
He's
now.
on his second.
He's just on his second beer. Yeah.
I'm just having my second beer now.
Yeah, I've just got a text from your wife wishing me the best of luck. By the way, Trev.
I'm not surprised.
I'm not surprised. Guys, listen, Sporting Lisbon, domestic champions, the third most successful team in Portugal with 54 major honours to their name. In this, what do you know of Sporting? We played them in the lead up to the Fairs Cup run in 1970. Trev, what's your dealings with Lisbon? Obviously, the Fairs Cup you would have been quite young, and then you went out there probably in 2018 as well when we played them in the Europa League last.
Yeah, we did play them in 2018, folk, and we beat them 1-0 over here. Danny Welbeck scored a goal, and we ended up winning the tie 1-0. It's a lovely stadium. They're lovely people, but it's not the best place to watch from. They have the thickest netting from the away fans ever. You know what I mean? So, you have to. Old people like me, we can't see for that netting. We just wait for the cheers and we join in. But it's lovely to be back in Europe. We've not been here for a while, have we? Because we've been doing other things like watching a boring World Cup and all that crap. But we're top of the league, and we're going to win the Europa League, and then we're going to win the league. And then we're going to have a few more beers, aren't we, Dan? So it's all good, folk.
So we're going to win the Premier League, Europa League, and the league.
And then the league. That's the treble, isn't it?
Did I say that? Well, I'm on my second beer. Give me a chance. Come on.
You're on your second beer. Alex, the stadium out there is a stadium that was built in and around 2001, 2000. It was for the 2004 Euros. It hosts 50,000, just over 50,000 fans. How many? We've got 2,500 Arsenal fans going out there. Are you seeing lots of them out there? Sorry, I pointed this to Alex, but Dan, sorry. Are you seeing lots of them out there?
Yes. I haven't really, to be honest with you. I think we've met about one Sporting fan and one Arsenal fan so far. So I'm hoping there's a bit more than just us two.
Well, in fairness, we got to Lisbon this morning and we went to a shopping centre for a bit of lunch, and they had beers at €2 a pint. So we've been in there for about 5 hours. I can't believe I made 2 pints last 5 hours, Donna, if you're watching.
one pint because you're on your second right now, by the way.
Arsenal
See?
fans are turning up by the minute. We've got Terry here and Simon's just turned up. Arsenal fans are turning up by the minute. We'll have a great trip here this weekend.
Hello, Simon. Hello, mate. Hello, Tel.
2 pints to catch up on.
Yeah,
2 pints to catch up. I think maybe 2.5, Simon. Maybe 2.5. Alex, Hector Bellerin, a familiar face from Arsenal, went to Barcelona, went on loan to Sporting, and is now, I think, signed permanently over there. Are you expecting to see much of him?
I don't think he'll start the game. He hasn't been starting too much for them, but hopefully he'll come on, especially when we play at the Emirates. But I don't think he'll be starting tomorrow. But they do have a couple of good players. They have Marcus Edwards as well, who used to be at Tottenham. He's one of their best players, and then Pedro Gonçalves. They're probably the two danger men.
Sorry, you were saying before they unmuted themselves again. Go on.
They're just too much, aren't they?
You know what? I can just do this while we talk, and we can bring him in.
Yeah, that's
afterwards.
a good idea.
We can hear what we're saying. So you're saying Marcus Edwards? Go on.
Yeah, their two best players are probably Marcus Edwards, who they signed from Tottenham a couple of years ago, who's been tearing it up for them. And I watched them against the Danish team Midtjylland the tie before, and they were the two main players for them, him and Pedro Gonçalves. So yeah, they're the two players we have to watch out for in their attack tomorrow.
That Midtjylland game, they went in 1-0, I think, into the second leg, and then it was 5-1 on aggregate in the end. You were hoping it was going to be a Danish side.
I was, yeah.
Did you really want this in Denmark?
I don't know, but I think they'll blend in with the Danish Viking seas.
Dan, we're back in.
We've been to go.
Oh, stick a flag in his mouth, will you? Stick a flag in his mouth.
Bring Europa home.
Bring Europa home. Right, sorry, folk. What was you saying, son?
I don't know, because every time I try and ask you a question, you start singing or something like that. You know, it's the ginger fella's a bad influence. Listen, going into this game tomorrow, it's a 5:45 kickoff. Probably do you guys a little bit of a favour. You're in. Is it the Rossi Square? Is where everyone's meeting beforehand? I believe.
I don't know.
Is that where we are?
They're going to be in the shopping mall.
We've been in the €2 beer shopping centre today.
We have.
That was
well.
plenty.
The majority of Arsenal fans are being advised to go to the Head and Rosso sort of square. No, where are they? Rossios Square, and the metro is only about 10 or 15 minutes. Trev, you've been out there before. How easy is it to get to from like the city centre, and is there things you should avoid?
Yeah, it's easy to get around, mate. It's easy to get around in Lisbon. There's a metro station right outside the stadium. We can get straight there, straight in the ground, and we'll have a good night. And we're not going to put our best side out, but we're going to put a side. We're fortunate enough at the Arsenal now. We don't put our best side out. But we can still put a side out that will challenge or beat anybody, and we'll be all right tomorrow night, folk. We'll be all right tomorrow night, and people need to understand, and they do, and they've been saying to me today, we're going to win the league, you know. So this Europa's a backup, you know. But to win both would be lovely. But you know, where do we focus? League Europa. I'm firmly behind the league challenge, and let's see what our younger lads can do in the Europa League, mate.
Trev, who would you like to see tomorrow? As you said, like, we're probably not going to be putting out our strongest side, but who of the younger players and the players we haven't seen so much of, who are you looking forward to see tomorrow? And Dan as well.
It'll just be a typical Europa side, Alex. I think we'll have Turner in goal. Holding will play. I wouldn't be surprised if Nelson doesn't play because he deserves a look-in. You know, and it'll change a few. Xhaka, I would imagine, will play because Xhaka loves to play every game. You know,
and he got rested last game as well.
And he's brought Jesus with him, so who knows what might happen there. So
Smith Rowe as well.
We're in so much of a better position, Alex. We can put out a side now that hasn't got all our first teamers in, but still really be a strong team, you know.
I agree. Yeah.
Dan, would you be looking at like Trev mentioned holding. Would you be looking at maybe giving Kiwior a run out in that as a centre half role? And do you bring in Jorginho for Partey?
I think Kiwior, no. I don't think he's ready yet. And he's not even played a minute for the first team. So I think away at Sporting, they're a tough team. I think I'd go strong still. I think you'll see him make 2 or 3 changes. The likes of Holding will come in, Tierney and probably Nelson because of injuries. I think Jorginho will play, but other than that, it will be the normal side, I think. Arteta's not really one for making many changes, so I don't expect him to make that many. But then I think after the away leg, if we get a good result, he may make more changes in the home leg.
This is our beautiful barmaid, boys. She's looking
Hello.
over tonight. She's looking taking care of us. She's doing all right.
Brilliant.
Your wife is watching.
She's doing all right. She's doing all right. You are so bad, Fergus.
He's just celebrating the International Women's Day, isn't he?
Very much so.
I'm not commenting anymore.
Well, the Danish are clearly sexist, aren't they? The Danish.
So are you going lineup wise? Are you putting Turner? Are you putting Turner in goal?
Then we just talk about the lineup.
Yeah, I think Turner. Right, so Turner will play. I think Turner will play.
Yeah, of course Turner will play.
I think Tierney will come in.
Yeah,
He'll
absolutely. Yeah, agree.
I think Holt will play.
I don't think he's travelled, Tierney. Apparently,
Really?
Yeah. Apparently, he's ill or unwell.
Okay.
Oh, right, okay.
Could
that means he's leaving.
Could Tommy get a game at left back?
Oh,
Yeah, I
Tommy
think
actually
Tommy
should
at left
play.
back. Yeah,
Maybe
He should play.
I think he might end up resting Zinchenko, but I
he
think
should. Yeah,
I think Turner and goal will play. I think Holding will play. I think Jorginho will come in, and I think Nelson will play because of injuries. Other than that, I think he'll go as strong as he can, depending on injuries and what's happening in the squad.
I disagree a little bit. I think that Kiwior might get a look in. Is it Kiwior, Dan? Is that his name?
Kiwior,
Yeah.
I think he might get a little bit. I think he might get 10 minutes. It'd be good if he does, because we need to start, breaking him in. So,
Well, if you think about Europa League, that's where we saw Saka in 2018. Saka first appeared in the Europa League in some of the group stages, and it's a good breeding ground for young talent. So stadiums opens at 3:45. What's your plans for tomorrow? Now, I've been on some of these European away trips with you. Yes, tonight can be a little bit heavy, and then an early-ish night, and then up in the morning, and normally take a walk around the stadium. Is that the plans then for tomorrow, Trev Dan?
do you want to answer? Or sure. Go on, you go.
Well, I'll go with whatever Trevor's let me do because he's in charge tonight. He's buying the beers, so it's up to Trev.
I'm not in charge. As you know, Ferg, we'll have a wander around the ground in the morning. Unfortunately, it's not a new ground. We've been to Sporting before, but we won't be in the ground until about 5 minutes before kick-off tomorrow because there's no alcoholic beer in the ground tomorrow. So 5 minutes before kick-off, we'll be walking through the door or staggering through the door or carried through the door, however it is, I don't know, but we'll be in there.
That's all right, Trev. We don't drink Echo anyway, so it's
No. Well, we'll have our 2 pints early on and then just go on Cokes maybe.
There's a few that won't be able to make it. The flight out of Bristol with Gary Newman and some of the other guys, which was due to take off at 10:30 this morning and then was delayed. Then was due to take off at 4:30 this afternoon, was at about 6 o'clock tonight was finally cancelled. So there's 30 or so Arsenal fans that are stuck in Bristol trying to get the way out there, which is, for the light bit of snow we had around this country, is absolutely ridiculous that they didn't reschedule and move them to a different airport or something like that. But our thoughts are with those guys not being able to get out there. So, it's pretty damn poor.
Ferg, I'm gutted for him, mate. I'm absolutely gutted for him because I think I said yesterday about these away trips and how dedicated we are, all us Arsenal fans. We have sometimes we have to find ways to get to these away games because the airlines put the flights up so expensive, so expensive. And them lads, they're going from Bristol. Some of them would have gone to Bristol. The flights are a bit cheap because it's not in London. And they've gone out of their way to do that. And I absolutely feel for them. And you never know, they might find something for them in the morning, Ferg. They might find something for in the morning. Hopefully, fingers crossed for them because there's some good lads stuck in Bristol tonight, and I want to see them here watching our great team.
No Trossard, no Eddie. Obviously, Jesus is possibly on the bench. Dan, who you putting up top?
Firstly,
He wanted me earlier, but I said no, Dan. I'm not going there.
you said yes.
No.
Sorry, Donna. Who's how long? Firstly, do we know how long Trossard's out for? Because I heard he had a sort of minor groin injury.
They think maybe till after the international break.
Yes, not too
I think
long.
in which case you'll probably see him go Martinelli up top. I think Saka will play right wing and Nelson maybe on the left. But we don't really have that many options. I think other than that, he can go with Vieira wide. I think against a team like Sporting, who are, don't underrate them, they're a very good side. And I believe they've won 5 of the last 6 games as well. And I think they only lost to Porto in that spell. So they're a good side. Not easy to play against, and I think we won't have the control that we've had in the last 4 or 5 games. So maybe guys like Nelson and Saka on the counter attack, and then Martinelli up top.
And Alex, Andrew asked in the chat. He clearly isn't listening. We said he's got on the plane. He's out there. Do you see Jesus getting some minutes at this stage?
It's difficult to know like how good he's feeling, but he looked very comfortable in training today. So that's a positive sign that he was playing with the others today and in full training. So I just can't wait to see him back on the pitch. I've really missed him. But yeah, we've done so well without him. But he's going to be such a huge boost coming back. It's going to be like a new signing.
And guys, we won't keep you from your beers really too long. But what are you hoping? What are you hoping score-wise? What are you expecting score prediction? Dan, I'll go with you first. What are you talking about score prediction?
Why? Why Dan first?
Favourite first.
All right, mate. Yeah,
cool. I'd say so. I'm going to go with a 1-0. I think it'll be a tight game, and we might nick it again, similar to last time we was here. They're not an easy side, so I do expect us to make a few changes. Hopefully, not as many as the last few rounds like Eindhoven, but I think there'll be a couple. So yeah, nick a win, which I'll take.
Trev, the reason I went with Dan first is I spoke to you earlier today, and Dan sounded far more wasted earlier than you did, so that's why I went with him first before he went downhill. What are you going with?
I wouldn't have a clue if anyone's more wasted, Fergus, because I've had a few myself. I want to see Smith Rowe get some more minutes tomorrow, because these people that were saying at the weekend, he come on as a sub and then he got subbed off, and they were questioning that. We need to put that to bed, because it came on, he went off because he played for 50 minutes, I think, anyway, and he's just coming back. So I'd like to see Smith Rowe get some more minutes, and I'm sure he will. I'd like to see Jesus come on and play a bit, which would be amazing to see Jesus back on the field playing a bit. And then we've got, with who we're going to play, Fergus, I wouldn't be unhappy with a draw. I wouldn't be unhappy with a 0-0 or a 1-1 or even a 2-2. I wouldn't be unhappy. But I honestly think that looking at Portuguese football and looking at what we're playing against, even when we bring these lads in, we should be capable of winning the game by the odd goal. I don't think we'll win it by a mile, but the odd goal, I'll take it. Yeah,
well, this side were a side that should have they've dropped out of the Champions League, Alex. They were in the same group as Eintracht Frankfurt, the same group as Tottenham, and they were only spared from. They were only dropped into the Champions League because a late goal by Tottenham.
That was crazy. That was a crazy, because all of the teams in that group had the possibility of going through on the last match day, and then it was only because Marseille they went for it at the very end, and that meant that Tottenham scored, which saw Marseille drop completely out, and then Sporting went into the Europa League. So yeah, that was crazy. But I mean, not that it's saying much, but they absolutely smacked Tottenham in Portugal. So they are a very good team.
Yeah, what are you going then, Alex, with on score prediction?
I really hope for a good game for the boys, but I'll take a draw. But hopefully it'll be a couple of goals. So I'll go 2-2.
2-2. I'm going for a 2-0 to the Arsenal. I'm just hoping that we'll come at them early, and we'll keep clean sheet. Not ignoring the drunks. The drunks are getting an awful lot of words in. Lads, before we finish up, I did think I'd play this little video for you guys to get in the mood. It's called, let me have a look. Whatever it takes.
1,000 years ago, I fought my way out of that cave, became Iron Man. Realized I loved you. I know I said no more surprises, but I was really hoping to pull off one last one.
The world has changed. None of us can go back. All we can do is our best. And sometimes the best that we can do is to start over.
I saw all these people die. I keep telling everybody they should move on. Some do, but not us.
Even if there's a small chance, we owe this to everyone who's not in this room to try.
We will. Whatever it takes. Whatever it takes.
Whatever it takes.
Whatever it takes.
Trev, that's a new one. We thought we'd like it and try to get you in the mood for tomorrow. And basically our charge on Europe and the domestic trophies.
Ferg, that was lovely. I've not seen that before, Fergus. Thank you for that, mate. Genuinely appreciate watching that, because you know what I'm like. I melt easy, me, and I burst into tears, and I get very emotional about our great football club. But the fact that we're sitting here tonight, you know, Dan and Alex and yourself, mate, talking about us being top of the league and playing in the Europa League and possibility of winning that and playing second team players that can still win us games. It's just amazing where I'm going to say it again, it's amazing where Arteta has brought us, you know. And he's not only has Arteta brought success to Arsenal Football Club, he's put a smile back on our faces as fans, you know. We want to watch our club win. We want to see our club win. We just, Jesus Christ, we're just in such a good place, you know. Such a good place. Let's go and win tomorrow night, and let's concentrate. I know we've got to concentrate on the league. I know we have got to concentrate on the league. But to be in these two competitions, amazing. Dan.
You know what I was thinking when I was watching that? It made me smile because, you know what? We're going to do the double. We're going to win the league and we're going to win the Europa League. And genuinely, who would have thought that we'd be anywhere near that at the beginning of the season? So it's been a massive ride already to get where we are. And I think we're in a fantastic place to make it happen. I really am.
You see, in years gone by, Ferg, right, Alex, we've said we could win the Europa League, but we could win the League Cup, but we could win this, but there's no buts now. You can't find a but. I know we're not going to win everything, but you know damn well that every player that sets foot on that field for the Arsenal, every player that sets foot on that field for the Arsenal is trying. They're doing their best. And as fans, we can't ask for any more. We cannot ask for any more. And I'm over the moon with it.
Kai deserves credit for the video. He sent it to me. He posted up on Arsenal Fans Forum. It is called Whatever It Takes. And I messaged him just before we went on and said, can you send it through? And he did. So thanks very much. Brilliant video. I don't know if you put it together yourself, Kai, or who did, but credit to you. It does show the transition from where we were 5 or 6 years ago to where we are now. We're on the cusp of probably league and European, glory. I'm not a few beers in, so I'm not as confident as I was on Saturday by saying, and now you're going to believe us. It's amazing what a few beer does.
We had a couple.
You had a couple, yeah, but I've had water, so I'm hoping we'll win the Europa League, and I'm hoping that we'll win the Premier League. I think we're in a great position to go on there. I think we're probably in a slightly better position with the league than we are in the Europa League, just because of who's left in the Europa League. There's some big names left in this competition that we could come up against in the next round. We are what we are. Your wife's just texted me again. 10 minutes, Don. I'll be around in 10 minutes. Sorry.
I'll tell you what, you're breaking some speed limits there, Fergus. Let me see.
Go on.
Dan and me have had a chat today, Fergus, and I've got some really bad news for you, mate. And Terence, actually. Terry's not on screen here, but Terry sat next to us, and Terry comes to all the European aways with us, and we enjoy every trip. But we've had a chat today, Fergus, and I'm sorry, mate, we've had a vote. And if we get past Sporting Lisbon, you've got to drive, mate, next round. It's down to you, pal. Fergus.
It will depend on the car. The car I've got at the moment has got a thimble of a fuel tank, so that won't go. But yeah, I'm always good. I'm always good to drive. It doesn't bother me. So it left in.
He's not allowed to like this time.
Yeah. Well, whichever.
You pretended you're poorly. Fergus, I'm poorly. I can't come. Look at him now, Dan. He's right as ninepence, isn't he?
So we got Union San Gilwaz, we got Union Berlin, we got Roma, Real Sociedad, Leverkusen.
He's ignoring us. He's ignoring us.
Fenerbahce, Shakhtar Donetsk, Feyenoord, Man United, Real Betis, Seville, Juventus, and Feyenoord. There's quite a good number of decent sides. Any that you'd like to avoid, Alex?
I'd like to avoid Manchester United until the final. That would be a great final. But yeah, I think there's, as you said, there's still lots of good teams left in the draw. Roma as well with Jose Mourinho. I'd avoid them until a couple of rounds as well. But yeah, it's we're gonna have to see, wait and see.
Yeah, we're gonna have to see. I tell you what, it's like managing two school kids, isn't it? Because every time,
they wind each other up.
I know. The only way to manage them is take it out. The great thing is I can see them down here on the bottom of my screen, play acting and everything else. I'm getting something about Nescafe and old. Yeah, here you go. There you go.
Fergus Keating, as one of my very best friends, you are in so much trouble. Next time I'm on, son, it's going off, I'm telling you. And please stop it now. But on a serious note, stop talking about the next round. Stop it now until after this one. Then we'll talk about the next round, yeah? We've got to get past Sporting Lisbon, who are not a bad side. I mean, we're going to hammer them, obviously, but they're not a bad side. So let's get past them, and then we'll talk about where you're driving to, Fergus.
I wasn't talking about the next round. You were talking about the next round, and I just said who was in the competition
He's
still.
Next round, if that's what he meant.
It's who in the next round, Simon?
He's buying the next round. He's just told me. So that's
all right, okay.
No, Terry is.
No, to be fair, Trev's bought a few rounds today. It's only when you're here, Ferg, that he doesn't buy them.
Oh. Yeah, I know. It must be that. It must be that for sure. Right. Guys, listen. I'm going to let you get back to your drinking. Have a great evening. Thank you for sparing a half hour your educational, informative chat that you're having. I know there's no strip bars next door or down the road, so you'll have nothing else to keep yourself busy with.
Yeah. Donna Marie, if you're watching, sweetheart, Lisbon is totally fucking sterile when it comes to stuff like that. We're having a few beers in the oven. Well, I've had me too, so I'm having water. These boys are having a few beers. and we're going to have a great
I've
night.
had a Hooters. I don't know what that's
And
like.
tomorrow we can. Will you shut up? And then tomorrow we're going to have a few beers and watch a great game of football. We're going to watch the Arsenal win in Lisbon. And there's 4 of us here now. You can only see 2 of us, but there's Simon and Terry here. There's 4 of us, and we're all good mates, and we can have a bloody great couple of days. And up the Arsenal, Fergus, play the song, make me cry. Come on, and let's. And then we're back then talking about the next round.
We will do. And I want to wish Callie. Well, she's full of COVID, but she's been listening to us and she's made us smile. And, it's just been a hilarious evening. Thanks for tuning in. Here is, we'll do the long version, shall we?
Callie, it's all.
Sing along if you know. As I walk these streets alone, through this bar I pull home, the battlefields vibrate, the stage is stone, through the turnstiles of the angel, see the homeless on the green, from the Cali to the cross, and every shithole in between. Past the church, the mosque crack then, and the offie on the corner. See the brasses from the brothel that pretends to be a stormer. Watch the bedlam in the bookies, see the winners and the losers seeking solace from their sorrow in the local battle cruisers. Through the madness in the market, whoever face is turned to greet ya. Hello brother, how's your mother? You're right son, be like a geezer. Double pie and mash and liquor, a couple rolls in the up chat, or watch retired gangsters bicker. Every day an office chat, the little fuckers causing trouble, for the causes make you smile. You meet your muckers for a couple, forget your troubles for a while. From the full nil to the heli, all the faces are the same. Cause the manner might be changing, but the people still remain. You ready?
There we go. We're back. Tears in his eyes, Trev.
Ferg, I can't handle no more. Do you know what? I never realised how much of a bonus it was when you kindly gave me a bit of control on this podcast. It's been horrible sitting here, just having to let you do me like a kipper, mate. But it's been amazing. It's amazing. You know, we're back in Europe, Ferg. We miss you, Ferg. Alex, I know you've not been before, but you'll join us again in future, I'm sure. And
I will, mate.
And Terry and Simon, we're having a great night. And don't forget, just before we go, just don't forget, right? If you press like or subscribe on this podcast, right, we make absolutely nothing. We make nothing, absolutely nothing. All we do is get more opportunities to come on here and talk shit about the Arsenal, because that's what we do. We're Arsenal fans. Are we not Arsenal fans? We're Arsenal fans.
And Sarah, if you click on the subscribe and the bell button, you will get that reminder that you missed out on earlier, so you won't miss the beginning. And the beginning, if you want to go back and look at it, it's hilarious. We'd lost total control. These guys were just unreal. They've now settled down. They've now settled down. I don't know. I don't know.
We can start again. We've been to Carabao everywhere across.
What you talking shit for?
Alex, thanks very much, mate. It's been a challenge. Been a challenge.
It has,
yeah. We will be back later in the week. I don't know whether we're going to get one in.
Shut up a minute. Put that quote. Put that comment up by our good friend Andrew Ritchie, please, at the bottom there.
There we go.
Yeah, Andrew, listen, mate, you wouldn't like it. It's absolute crap. You have to drink loads of beer, right? You have to drink loads of beer. Then you have to pretend to your missus that you've only had 2 beers. Then all your mates that you think are your mates grass you up and say you've had more than 2 beers, and it turns into a nightmare, right? So you wouldn't like it, mate. Stay at home. I'm never doing it again. Never ever am I doing it again. When's the next one, boys?
You know what? Your mates haven't grassed you up at all this time. You just given the whole thing away to your wife.
You did well yourself, mate.
Yeah, you did. Listen, as Trev said, like and subscribe if you like what we do, and if you're on SoundCloud or any of the audio platforms, you can also subscribe. And then we do get quite a number of people, probably 50% of the people, if not more, listen to the audio version. But I think today you've got to watch it. These guys are
Probably because I don't have to see Trev's face.
Well, it's not wrong.
It's true, Simon. This is true. It is a positive. It is a positive. Right, guys. I know there's no time. I know there's no time difference, so you've got enough time to get some more beers in. Cheer on Milan, and I hope they score 6 goals tonight. That be in the background in that Hoosiers place he was talking about. That's meant to be a good bar.
Just one will do, Ferg. I can't take another that mob down the road in a Champions League final. I can't be doing that at my age. It'll kill me. You know what I mean?
No. We're up. We're up for what? How is it pronounced, Alex? Who are we up for?
AC Milan.
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 Right.
AC
Up the Arsenal.
Milan. Can I drop a Fergus? Can I drop a Alex word now before we go?
You've been listening to Guns and Yellow Ribbons, an Arsenal podcast by Arsenal fans for Arsenal fans. Follow us on Facebook at Guns and Yellow Ribbons and Twitter at Guns and Ribbons. And remember to rate and review us too.